Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Cookiecast. Today on Cookiecast, it's the football podcast. Paul Williams and James Panas sit down to discuss what's going on in the football world. We have a few other bits in there, diet and exercise and things like that, and how that affects the football world, going from drinking 20 pints a day to eating healthy and working out. So this is our second episode. These guys get right into it. They talk. There's a lot of football. It's a good long episode. So yeah, episode 2. See what you think to this format. See how this is working. See what you like, what you don't like. Give us a shout either way. Let us know. So this is You Can't See the Forest for the Tees.
And they're both flashing.
Yeah, this is me.
Here we are,
Not as interesting.
back in the studio
Getting that belly shot.
after
Same as last week.
after several months.
Oh, it's been a while.
Lads, I have missed our chats.
It's quite difficult to get you guys together. That's the problem.
It is.
Yeah,
We're just
You're quite
busy
elusive.
boys.
Um,
Do you know why it is?
you've got too many weddings to go
Because
to.
we're spending all our time at football matches, which is ironic and quite coincidental, and definitely not ironic. I didn't mean to say that. Because
I just found the band that you said you can't find. So.
what on Spotify?
No, I looked at Spotify on the YouTubes.
On the YouTube.
I'm assuming that's it there, or maybe.
Oh, it's not. Sorry, they're not. They're just called Drive Like You Stole It.
Yeah, that's kind of what I searched.
I'll have to find the album because the album is really good.
We're falling into the trap of not talking about it really quickly.
What's your cast number 2?
me and Tom watched Godzilla movie, and then
Wow!
Godzilla music.
Alright, well,
There's Godzilla has a theme song, but like it came on at the end of the film, and I went, that's at the beginning of like a rap song, and I spent ages like. What's the song? What's the Godzilla theme song, rap song, and stuff? And I eventually found it, so I was like playing it. I was like, "It's a cool song as well."
Nice.
Right, let's get some football.
Yeah.
Come on, because I've got a quiz.
So,
Yeah.
welcome to episode 2 or instalment 2 of Can't See the Forest
For the Tees.
That's right.
You didn't
I mean-
say it like that this time.
Heard like a falcon.
That could be the thing.
I have still got to listen back to this because I just want to see how noticeable / funny it is.
Oh, I think I've actually deleted the one with the single cut.
Oh,
So if you go back and listen, it'll be like listen to, and it is quite seamless. But the other one was not. Like the sound was completely different, and it is just me saying the word trees.
interesting.
Yeah, it'd be coming as a Christmas compilation.
Clearly.
The
the bloopers reel.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Yes, welcome
End of
to
season.
the UK's number 1, quite possibly only Middlesborough and Nottingham Forest based podcast. We say
Certainly,
based, I mean it's loosely based. but,
certainly the UK's number 1 Middlesbrough Forest podcast, done on a certain night of the week by 2 people from York.
Sorry,
Just thought I'd narrow it down.
You don't count in this apparently. So, cheers, James. It's nice of you.
I'm just here as official
Facilitator.
official adjudicator
Facilitator.
and referee in case there's any fighting.
And for education.
Yes, I was going to say we are
I was
doing
thinking
a
about this
football
today.
education.
Although you could say
I mean, to be fair-
education after last week.
And also, I mean, how much of a bastard are we if we give him a football education with Borough and Forest as the 2 teams?
So I was like, the objective of the podcast should be that by the end of the season, I should be able to do a football quiz and get over a certain percentage.
Yes.
So, but all I could think was, what colour is a red?
Say the word. What?
I want to say who.
This is
I want to say
tricky.
why.
By the end of the season, we'll get Andy at the Thursday night football quiz, and he will
Boom.
answer a question.
You'll nail it. But no, because what he'll do is he'll do exactly what I used to do on a Tuesday at the quiz.
What? Just like that one?
Yeah. Oh,
I was telling Tom that
amazing.
I knew a question last week that neither of you, before reading that neither of you got right, and I was very surprised.
Which one was that?
The Rooney one. I knew that.
Oh, the one that had scored the most goals for one club.
Yeah. I was like, well,
Do we both
obviously it's Rooney.
I think so.
I went for Thierry.
No, I might have gone for Lampard.
Yeah, neither of you got
Oh, I
right.
tried to avoid that.
Wankers.
Right, so what's happening in football this week?
So where are we?
Well, lads,
FA.
I don't know what to say, lads, but the footballing world, was turned on its head by the Shanahanigans going on at the River Dance. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Tony Pulis released the shackles. And
Attacking football?
And the Borough put in an absolutely world-class performance to put the mighty Peterborough United to the sword by
1-0.
5-0.
5 goals, 1 game.
Really?
5 goals, 1 half.
Was it in one
That
half?
was 0-0 at half time. They were getting booed off the pitch. But then they brought on Lewis Wing. Turned the game on its head, didn't he? Oh, Lewis Wing. And the interesting thing about Lewis Wing is there's...
So Britt got a couple, didn't he?
Britt got a couple against his former team, didn't celebrate because, that's apparently a thing. The Lewis Wing thing, quite an interesting stat. About 3 or 4 years ago, he sent out a tweet saying, just watching Sky Sports News, how good would it be to be a professional footballer? Do you know what? Dreams do come true. Because he is living the dream. Fair enough, it is on Teesside, but he's still living the dream.
Wow.
So he went from Shildon in the Northern League to play professionally for me.
That's a good Twitter story, which is unusual these days. 10 years ago, this person said this, and it was terrible.
Now he's no longer here. Sorry, I just went a bit out there. Carry on. I know. Made it weird. Right.
Okay.
Did Forest play? Forest play.
Yes.
And who did they play?
Chelsea.
Not only did they do that, they made a guy cry when he left the pitch.
I think that's still under investigation, isn't it? All that. there might have been some racism.
Oh no, I was talking about Fabregas.
Oh right, so I thought you were talking about the racism at the game.
Football?
No,
Being
racism.
investigated.
That doesn't sound
for
like the two
racist
things. Those two things
chanting.
go together.
What?
Yeah, I know.
Oh my god! I saw something about a kid who was trying to do
Racism
something
in
for
football?
Forest TV or like his own YouTube
Oh,
channel,
I don't know.
and he got turned away by the stewards and stuff. Stopped him from recording.
God damn it.
This is a 14-year-old kid who was getting manhandled by the stewards.
Well done. Yeah.
So that's not gone down well.
All right. Oh yeah. Oh, okay. So you were going. Yeah, they made Fabregas cry.
Yeah. So Cesc Fabregas was playing for Chelsea, got subbed in the second half.
This wasn't like a pre-arranged like John Terry type.
Yeah, well, he didn't get subbed in the 26th minute. What the fuck was that all about? He got subbed to come off so he could have like a round of applause from the because he's supposed to be moving on loan to Monaco or possibly transferred to Monaco. But apparently something's come out today that said that he's not going until they've got cover for him, which is a bit strange because he's not been playing this season. So how would you get cover for a guy who sits on the bench?
No, they've got like 17 million centre midfielders.
I was going to say, just recall one of the 50 players you've got on loan. That was about
Don't
that.
like
For
that.
now.
That's probably not an exaggeration.
That is not.
There's always 40 something at one point. I don't know
there's always the same meme that gets put on Twitter. It's just a massive crowd of people, and it's like London Luton Airport when all the Chelsea loanees come back. And stuff like that. And it's true. They have got an astronomical number of
everyone
players.
on the off chance that one day they'll be a star.
But they always. This is the thing. Like, so they've just rejected a bid for one of their players called Callum Hudson-Odoi.
From Munich this time, right? Yeah.
So Bayern Munich have bid £30 million for an 18-year-old English guy who's started maybe 10 games tops, and they've rejected it. I don't know why they've rejected it, because they're never going to play him. He's in the same category as Ruben Loftus-Cheek. He's never going to start games for Chelsea. You love Ruben Loftus-Cheek, and I just don't get it.
Yeah.
I just don't see it. He's not done anything in the time he's played for any club that he's been at.
Right.
To do anything. I just don't see it. But that's just my personal opinion.
Okay.
So if you want to defend it and justify it,
I just think he's just a really good, solid centre midfielder. Like, really good.
But so is Eric Dyer.
Yeah, again, Eric Dyer, very good. I'm a big Eric Dyer fan as well.
But this is the thing, Eric Dyer's he's established in the team, so you don't need Ruben Loftus-Cheek.
I think Eric Dyer's more of a defensive player.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Cheek,
Cheek.
He's more
He's more of an
box.
Yeah, I get that. He's more of an attacking threat.
He can do it all.
But Ross Barkley.
But he's more up the field. Dyer's down the field, and Cheek is in the middle, doing the whole lot. But I'm not mad at Ross Barkley. I think he's a bit.
I don't know. For me, it's just there was this thing that Southgate was guilty of, and it was sort of hot-shotting players that had 5 minutes and where they'd looked amazing.
Yeah.
And then just got hot-shotted straight into in the England first team. I don't even think they even played in the under-21s or something like that. So, like Rashford, what? I know that's a justified one now because he's starting games for Man United.
At the time, yeah, I'm
but
with
Rashford just went.
one.
I think he played once for the under-21s and then went straight to the England first team. He might not have even played for the under-21s before that. He might have gone straight to the England and then he got dropped back down to the under-21s. And I just thought, at the time, it was just like, no, it's too much. It's too much too soon. These players.
I think I see where you're going. I think Rashford is the exception.
Rashford is the exception that sort of doesn't prove the rule, but it sort of it brings an interesting point. But I just feel these players that are getting, it's like Solanke. What has Dominic Solanke done? He was at Chelsea, didn't get a game. Went to Liverpool.
Well, I mean, going back to the initial issue of like Chelsea having this huge squad or whatever, so he's like a victim of that, and he's gone to Liverpool to get first team football.
Yeah,
I suppose
didn't get the games.
No, he didn't. But Liverpool, I mean, somehow got 19 million back for him on someone they put for free and hardly played, which is brilliant. But I think when Solanke went there, he probably honestly thought Sturridge ain't going to be around because he wasn't last year. Let's be honest. At the point when Solanke went to Liverpool, no one ever thought Mo Salah was going to be this incredible.
True.
So he probably just thought he had more of an option there.
And I suppose Salah wasn't ever signed as a centre forward, was he? He's just been sort of converted into one now. Liverpool's weird though because they've got that front three, and they're so
clearly
so
only for me the clear striker out of the three is Firmino. And he's the one now playing the furthest back down, back in the field.
It's weird. It's the only time I've ever seen a front three where you couldn't pin down which one of them is the central striker.
Yeah.
And which one of the two is playing wide because it must be an absolute nightmare to mark them because you don't know who's going to be where and you're basically just going to have to go man to man on them. Yeah. And then you're going to get turned in behind. Seriously. I would love to see John Terry play against them three because he would get torn to pieces if he was still playing. It'd be absolutely hilarious.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's and obviously like the point was that Solanke was signed as a striker.
Yeah.
But Salah's done so well, and obviously dovetails nicely with Firmino and Mane that you don't really need to play him, and he's never going to get anywhere near the team because he's nowhere near as good as the other three. And then at the time you still had Danny Ings who was coming back from injury. He was probably better than him, more proven anyway in the Premier League.
Sturridge is still knocking around.
Sturridge is still there.
And I'd forgotten about Origi until
he was playing last night in the cup against Wolves. I was like, who's the guy who's got like all the floppy hair?
He come in and scored in the Merseyside derby, didn't he? Yeah, because apparently that was the last time he scored. He got that one.
So he just never plays games. But I'm sure there's something like some team sniffing around him and they're willing to pay like 25 million or something. It's like,
when he first went to Liverpool, he came with a big reputation, though, didn't he?
Did they get him from Lille? Or someone in France? I'm sure they bought him from someone in France.
But he was like at the time, he was like really, I suppose, pushing like Lukaku for that was Belgium the starting.
Well, that was the thing, wasn't it? There was the three of them. Wasn't there? There was Lukaku, Benteke, and Origi.
I've forgotten about Benteke.
And then, I mean, you've got Batshuayi now as well.
Yes.
Is it Dries Mertens?
I always think of him more as like a side player.
He was up there. I mean, at this point, he's just sat there just going, I've heard of maybe two of these names.
He's just taking note for quizzes.
Intently taking it in.
Pronunciation of quizzes.
Pronunciation is.
Yeah.
That was good earlier on. So
the next
it's,
one,
it's brilliant when he was doing this, obviously trying to say all the names, and then earlier when we did an NFL quiz, Leanne was doing the same thing with the names. I was like, oh, this is priceless.
So, and the worst thing is, I can't remember how she pronounced it, but she was saying something to me this morning about like football quiz and stuff, because she'd already done the football quiz, but then she was like looking at doing another one. Shout out to Stats Mistress for today's quiz. Yeah, it was Arsene Wenger. And I can't remember how she said Arsene, and I was like, who? And she said it again, and I was like, definitely not, but it must be like how it reads.
it's like Arsene, isn't it?
So when they signed him, when he became the manager, I think the first thing everyone did was, who the fuck's that? But then the other thing was weird was the fact that, like, hang on a second, have they just signed him because his name sounds almost like Arsenal? And then obviously he turned out to be an incredibly good, incredible manager. Not so much towards the end,
Not
but
so much
I mean,
recently.
obviously,
Ran out of young French players, didn't he? Eventually.
pretty much. But everyone, if you ever listen to anyone who played under him and stuff like that, like Paul Merson, for example, always says totally revolutionised how English clubs play the game. So he came in '96.
Oh, I thought it was a bit earlier than that, but maybe.
So it was 95-96. Bruce Rioch was the manager,
Yeah, after Graham.
and he took over from him halfway through the 96-97 season, I think, because he managed to get him sixth maybe in his first season, in his first part season, and then the next season they won the league, I think. I might not have that right. I'm pretty sure I do, but I might not have that all
Something
together.
like.
I
But-
wouldn't question it.
So Paul Merson said that when he first came in, they still had
Did
this
he
thing
cut
called-
alcohol?
Well, this is the thing. So they had this. Do you know what the Tuesday night club was? Oh, I think it was called the Tuesday night.
Well, was this just where like Adams and
So it was-
Merson and Parler
So yeah, Parler, Merson, Adams, Steve Bold,
just got
Dixon,
shit-faced?
basically all the sort of main
Was
players.
Dicko in on that one
I
as
think
well?
I
then,
must
was
have-
he?
Well, it was that pretty much the Arsenal back four. Just don't usually got the ball. Probably not Keown because he's a twat, or he might not be a twat. Personal preferences aside, Mike Keown wanker. But it was the fact that they always used to go to the pub, and it was a case of like one of the funniest things I always heard was on a Danny Baker compilation video where he was like saying that the thing about Tony Adams is it only ever takes one pint to get him drunk. The problem is that he can't remember whether it's the 23rd or 24th. So they always used to go to the pub and just get absolutely leathered. But footballers that like from like any sort of time used to say that drink wasn't really a problem because you basically could drink and drink and drink, and then you just go into training the next day and just sweat it all out again. I mean, you'd feel absolutely horrendous, but you know, drink wasn't the enemy and stuff like that. So when players started taking drugs was the problem because you can't really get drugs out of your blood system.
Presumably once it started hitting on the coke, it was a whole...
So that was Merson's problem, was the fact that he had like an addictive personality. So
I was going to
obviously
say, because he was doing drink, coke and gambling.
Yeah.
Like-
So he was drinking, and then he was putting ridiculous bets on, and then he was obviously... Then it all got too much, and that's when he started on the drugs and stuff like that. So... And he said
Sounds like a winning combination.
Oh my god! And then when Wenger came in, he just basically brought in nutritional plans for all the players, cut out the alcohol.
Had he
and stuff
come
like
from
that.
Japan or had he come from France? Because he was Monaco and Grand Passat before.
So
I can't remember which way round.
So I listened to. So Gary Lineker does a podcast with Danny Baker.
Yeah.
Very funny. People should listen to it.
I like
Very
Danny
good.
Baker. I
After
enjoy
listening
that.
to this one.
Yeah.
After listening to this, obviously, and he said that because he was at Grand Passat as well as a player.
Lineker.
And he said that just after he left is when Wenger came in. And I think he was at Grand Passat between 92 and 93 or 94.
And then Monaco.
So when Lineker left Grand Passat, that's when Wenger went into Grand Passat.
Yeah.
So if he came in and said 94, you'd imagine he was probably there for 2, maybe 3 years, and then went to Arsenal.
Yeah.
So... But yeah, it was the fact that he brought in all this stuff to revolutionise. So like individual training plans, like nutritional plans. I think even like it was even as much as like they detailed it down to the time that players ate and things like that. So like you were optimising the amount of time that it was in your body to give you the perfect level of fuel to get through the games and stuff like that.
Right.
So
You can get involved
here we
with
go.
this.
I'm in. Tag me in, boys. I'm in. So, about I can't think. Let's say 18 months ago. Let's go with that. There was I was at a point like physically I was at a point where like my weight loss had stopped,
Plateaued and stuff like that.
I'd like properly plateaued, and I just couldn't. No matter what I did, I just couldn't get any more weight off. I was running like 4 miles a day average sort of thing. I was just running home. I was hitting the gym. I was doing absolutely everything. I was eating like an insane diet. This was probably in the last 10 years like my peak, but I just couldn't lose any more weight. So I went to a PT to sort of say, look, this is my training, this is what I'm eating, and nothing's happening. And he could tell me that straight away. He was like, let me guess, you're not losing any weight. And I was like, exactly. He was like, here's what you're doing wrong. So like your training, I've seen you in the gym, I've seen you training. Your training's all over the shop. You want to be lifting lighter weight, but lift it better, because your form's shit basically. And like your food is like, you're telling me you're eating healthy, but you're not. And I'm like, compared to what I was doing, I'm eating healthy. It's like you're eating a lot of sugar. It's like, what?
Natural sugar.
I don't eat any sugar. Natural sugar, fruit. So it's like, this is what you need to do for your diet, and this is what you need to do for your training. The next time, obviously, I hit a better point at that point, and then I had like a break, and the next time I came round to getting back to a point where I was like, I need to go and see a PT to get me back into it. To get PT and nutrition at that point was impossible. Like a PT will say, this is how you work out, and I'd be like, right, okay, well I'm vegetarian, and I can't tell you about your meals and stuff. I'm like, but I need to know how to maximise, like as a vegetarian, like protein's a big issue. Oh, don't know. So I was looking at having to go to a PT and then try and find like a nutritionalist and stuff, and it was just baffling. So at this point in time, I just try and do the best possible. But so what you're saying is like, for players to maximise, you need your training at peak, and you need your nutrition at peak and stuff.
I mean, this is at a time where obviously the Alan Shearer diet was championed over chicken and pasta before every meal or whatever.
It's something in beans, chicken and beans before every game. That's what he was eating apparently.
But obviously he was like at the time an incredible goal scorer.
It wasn't hurting because he was getting like 30 plus goals a season.
And it makes a massive amount of sense. Like, so your chicken is the single best thing for protein.
Second, there's one food that is pure protein, and it's not chicken, because chicken's got other shit in as well, bits and pieces. Egg whites. That is the single best thing for that is literally pure protein.
But for grammage, because obviously you would need X amount, like that much eggs versus that much.
Yeah,
chicken.
possibly.
But yeah, like an egg is 7 grams of protein. Just an egg. Like
I love how he knows the numbers. It's like we need a quiz.
But like a pack of chicken's like 50 grams of protein. So it's how to offset it. Like I'd seen a diet that was like when you're trying to maximise, and the breakfast was like 8 eggs.
Yeah, but it'll probably be 8 egg whites. That's the thing.
Yeah, but
it takes to take the yolks.
I used to be allergic to dairy products, so I have to watch. Even now, I have to watch my egg intake. So like when I was like on the protein shakes and stuff, I had to alternate between a whey protein and a vegan one, because if I did a week of whey protein, by the end of it, my skin would be terrible. Yeah. So yeah, like
the egg thing's weird
chicken.
though, because I suppose I've always been told that like, oh, you shouldn't be having more than like 2 eggs a day or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It's weird, isn't it? Because you can become egg bound. It's really weird.
Does that,
sort of
and
blocks
also
you up
the
and
more
stuff.
egg you eat, apparently at some stage you will become intolerant to eggs if you like.
Plus, you should just adopt what the French do. You don't need more than 1 egg if you're a Frenchman, because as they say, 1 egg is an earth.
Wow. I knew something was coming, but I didn't even know. But have you ever the incredible thing read a few years ago now was it was who's the swimmer? Michael, what's his face? Phelps. Have you ever looked at his diet when he was training?
Don't get us started on athletes and their diets.
Oh, he was doing something stupid like 20,000 calories a day or something like that.
Have you seen The Rock's workout program?
Oh, I don't know.
So
The Rock is responsible for a certain fish population. I think it's cods. He's responsible.
It's diminished
for diminished a certain
overfishing.
1% of the diminished population of that particular fish is The Rock.
Wow.
And if you think about like the work, but like his meals are like every other. He eats something like 7 meals a day, and every other one of them's got that fish. Like I think it's cod.
Well, I was watching this Phelps one, and he was saying that like because the amount of training he was doing and his metabolism was at a ridiculous rate, that it was just a case of getting calories in.
Well,
so he was like, I'm not gonna like if I've got to eat this, I'm not just gonna like sit there and just it be boring as fuck.
Yeah.
I'm going to just eat. I'm gonna eat the stuff that you want me to eat, but I'm gonna make it nice.
Yeah.
So he's having like his eggs, not as like egg whites or whatever. He's like fried egg sandwiches. Like it's brown bread. It's like but then he's like I'm putting mayonnaise on everything because it's full of egg.
So that
I'm having like extra egg enriched pasta with every meal.
But that's it, innit? I think it's finding that balance. So like when you're talking about training, for example, they always say, yeah, it's fair enough like trying to get as much protein and stuff, but you've got to bear in mind that if you just eat protein, you've not got any carbohydrates there to sort of sustain you whilst you're exercising.
The protein is rebuilding the muscle. It's the carbs that are actually giving you the energy to
slow burning carbohydrates.
How the fuck do we get onto basically bodybuilding cast?
So slow burn carbohydrates to give you your energy. You need your protein to replenish your muscles, but you need fat.
Yeah,
and it's been this. This was a whole thing to do with the sugar industry. That the sugar industry knew that they were going to get absolutely a proper kick in once people realised that sugar was bad. So they started like blasting and like it was almost like an ad campaign. That fat's bad for you. Fat isn't bad for you. You can have like good
saturated fat.
Saturated fat's bad for you, but good fat. When you have like reduced fat, whatever, you're not supposed to have reduced fat. You're supposed to have full fat, whatever. So like milk,
a lot of those reduced fat things, all they're doing is taking out the fat and putting in like sweeteners or
chemicals
sugar
and stuff.
or whatever.
Sugar. It's all everything.
When I found out about diabetes, that was like one thing that they were saying.
Wow.
I've
never thought about that before.
Your fat-free yogurts and things like that. What are they? When they're taking out the fat, what?
When they're taking out the fat, it's either chemicals, which are always good for you.
That's probably why you like Coors Light so much.
Yeah, I love going in the dark. So yeah, I was having a conversation with somebody. I started going to the gym when I was like 15, 16. And that was like full blown training. It was like 3, 4, 5 times a week. It was full on training. It was like you got to eat stupid. I could train. I'd be going to school and could barely lift a pen because I was training like crazy amounts of stuff. And in those days, 1995, it was lift big heavy thing, eat food, get big, and that was it. That was it. You started on a small weight, you lifted the next weight up, you lifted the next weight up, you moved on to your next exercise. That was how you worked out, and that's how everybody in the gym did it. I want that one, and that one. That's everybody in there. Nowadays, it's like, you need to do this compound exercise for this, you need to eat this for this, you need to... The science that's been pumped into... Like you say, your footballer's going from my diet consists of 25 pints, 7 lines, and I just lost 10 grand on a horse, to you're not drinking, you're not doing the drugs, you're not smoking, you're going to eat this at this time because it's going to give you the maximum amount of result on the pitch.
Well, the best sort of thing about like the best example of someone doing something different or something out of the box to try and prolong the career that I can think off the top of my head is probably Giggsy. So
Giggsy's name's always going to
towards the end of his...
Was he doing Pilates or yoga? Or something
so he started. I think he said he took up yoga when he was like 33 or something.
So they say any man over the age of 40 should incorporate yoga into their life because of the it keeps you limber and it keeps you active.
Well, I've lost count of the amount of times me and you have had the conversation about the DDP yoga and stuff like that. one
of the most successful training plans of any.
Yeah, don't surprise me.
Of anything in any generation.
Yeah, don't surprise me. Obviously, I get loads of it because of all the wrestlers.
I was going to say, when you say DDP, are we talking
Diamond
Pit?
Pit.
Right, okay.
So
is he dead?
No.
Oh, right. I thought.
No. Well, unless he's died in the last
No, I thought he was well gone.
No, so he's created this yoga-based fitness program that it's literally changing people's lives.
Yeah.
So there's wrestlers that have said that it's given them their career back, it's extended their career. There's like war veterans that were told they would never walk again, and it's got them from like being chair bound to standing up,
to running,
to
Wow.
basically living like a healthier life than they were before they were even in the army.
There's a famous one that he actually uses on his website.
Arthur Borman, I think.
Yeah. Joe Rogan, when he relayed that story to Joe Rogan and showed him the videos and stuff, Joe Rogan was crying on his podcast at the end of that story. And then the next podcast he did, he was telling the next person about the stories. He was like proper crying because, like, for somebody like that, you think about Joe Rogan's fitness, and like his diet is literally meat that he has, shot with an arrow, like an elk is his favourite. He goes out, shoots an elk, brings it back, chops it all up, sticks it in the freezer, and his diet is elk meat and like a jalapeno on the side, sort of thing. And then he just works out. He posted a video.
So is he like constant keto or something like?
Yeah,
but
posted a video at one point of him setting the smoke alarm off fire alarm off in his house because of the steam in his workout room from like the amount he was working out and stuff. So for him, like maximum fitness, maximum sort of to achieve the maximum MMA commentator and all that. So for him to see that Arthur go from 2 crutches, never walk again, never run, never do anything, to 10 months later, a year later, running down the road, had lost a massive amount of weight. He's just crying at it because it was like, for him, it was like such a huge achievement.
I honestly can't remember why we got onto this.
Arsene Wenger brought in
nutrition.
The last thing, if we sort of work it back, we were talking about the Forest game, and I said that they'd reduced the guy to tears.
Yeah, so Fabregas is leaving. Yeah. So yeah.
Still tell us why that was.
Well, he's just not needed anymore.
That was something else.
Presumably his contract presumably ends at the end of the year, and they're just trying to get something.
I don't even know. I think he might even be under contract for a little bit longer, but it's just that he's not surplus to requirements, I believe, is the phrase they keep using.
So what? They brought him on so he could have.
No, he started the game, missed a penalty.
Basically, the way Chelsea approach that game is they've got a vested interest in the Premier League.
And the Champions.
The Forest play in the lower league Championship.
Some say the best.
So they're going to put out their B team essentially. So Fabregas gets to have a run out in the B team.
Worked out well for them though.
Yeah, but I thought he missed the pen.
Yeah, he missed the pen in the first half. But yeah, sadly the FA Cup run.
Concentrate on the league, innit?
Came to an end. First hurdle.
Concentrating on the league.
So what? The Forest boys go out and the Borough boys go through.
Right. Okay. We had to play Chelsea, and you had to play Peterborough.
Yeah, I did notice from last week when I was like, oh yeah, we're going to play Peterborough. I was like, all right. And then it's like, oh yeah, we got Chelsea. I'm like,
I've heard of Chelsea.
I've heard of Chelsea before.
Oh, you'll be pleased. Well, you'll be pleased to know the next round.
Oh, who did you get? It's not Arsenal Man U.
It's not Arsenal Man U.
That's the only tie I've seen so far.
Is it
Went
Leeds?
to bed early last night.
Leeds.
Sadly, it can't be Leeds because Leeds got knocked out by QPR.
Oh yeah.
I didn't even think that was.
Why was that not the TV game? Why did I have to watch
Leeds QPR?
Right, rather than me sitting down to watch Watford Woking.
Well, the non-league team.
I'm not interested in watching Watford and Woking.
Non-league against Premiership. That's going to get put on every day of the week.
Terrible.
Did you watch the Sunday game on the BBC?
The Leicester game. Do you know what I watched the first half. I thought, not interested in this. I should have watched it.
Should have watched it.
Yeah, no.
So Newport get the shock, beating. So that's Newport, a League Two side, at home against Leicester City, former Premier League champions, no less.
Going all right as well.
Not good. Leicester City knocked out. Newport's reward.
Who'd you get?
a little trip to the river dance, baby.
I wonder where you're going with this.
Yeah, Newport County at home next round. To which I got a text from my Leeds supporting mate saying, "Do you not ever get a fucking hard tie?" I was like, "Well, it's knocked out a Premier League team."
I was going to say that sounds like a doable. From my little amount of knowledge, that sounds fairly
Yes,
doable.
but unfortunately, in the last round of the other cup competition, Middlesbrough had Burton Albion at home,
Strong team.
and they got beat.
and they got beat.
Strong team, Burton, though.
So
Strong.
they're only. I mean, cup ties are always potential banana skins.
We going to it? Is it
Probably not, because it's the same
round four,
weekend.
is it
It's the same weekend as the missus' birthday, and she's earmarked plans for us to potentially go away. So I was like, "Go away? Why don't we go up to Middlesbrough for the weekend?" And she was like,
No one ever said
"I don't
that.
want to say no, but
No.
but
No.
I don't want to say yes." So it was like, "That's fine. We'll just go to." It's because she's not been to a game, and I've said that I want to take her to a game so she can experience what it's like to be at a game. I mean, poor bastard. I'm having to take her to the Riverside. Jesus Christ. I could take her in the South Stand. You know, that guy in front of us. You know, hopefully he'll be there again.
He'll definitely be there.
Come on,
He
lads,
was not on the Bang diet, was he?
No, he was definitely not in with Wenger. And also, I think maybe it's just me, but anyone who goes to okay, so what's John Terry's nickname? As in, because what he did when they won the when they won the league or when they won the European Cup.
Well, it was the Champions League,
League,
because he was just on the sidelines. And have you might have even seen this. So John Terry got suspended for the Champions League final.
It's a tenuous link
Because
when we go back
I believe
to my thing.
did he boot Messi up the arse or something like that?
Did he knee him?
Yeah, he might have done actually.
Running the behind and kneed him.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So he got sent off in the semi-final.
Yeah. Sounds sensible for a fully grown man.
Oh yeah. So I got sent off for the semi-final, meaning he missed the final. So he's on the sidelines for when the penalty shootout is taking place, and as Didier Drogba rolls in the winning penalty.
I should point out in his defence, he is the club captain.
Yeah.
So he's wanting to go and participate.
And apparently they've said you can go on and lift the trophy. If you do, we want you in full kit, so you'll match with all the rest of the players.
Full kit wanker.
Is that true?
They
told him that.
That's what he said.
And I know where the next bit's going. So he's known as full kit wanker. But
so the camera, there's footage of him basically on the sideline, and as soon as the penalty's rolled in, he's there ripping off the trousers.
I will point out that he had a suit on at half time. It was only during the second half that he got stripped and ready.
Bear in mind,
this
though, obviously this is at half time. He's had the second half, all of extra time, and the penalty shootout to get sorted and stuff like that. So there he is ripping all the kit off. All of his.
So presumably they want it for branding, is what he's saying.
Basically, so his argument was that and then as is the way these days. Cue the memes. So basically, it's just all over the internet. There's just tons of memes of any other team winning a trophy, and then just
full kit wanker.
John Terry in the side.
Full kit wanker. Is there any need for him to have his shin pads on? Because he has.
Oh God! On the full kit wanker thing, without a doubt, one of the best things to follow on Twitter. They don't seem to be on there quite as much anymore, but it's just a case of pictures of fully grown men in full kit in the supermarket.
Inappropriate
places. Yeah. So
why would you be in the
because I play football every Monday, and my brother plays with me. Not like that. And he said
no one thought it like that.
And he's always said, because I like to play in, whilst it's not full kit, I like to have the sort of the kit that looks like it matches.
Oh, right, okay.
So from afar, could look like FKW. And he said that
you are the Tom Quinn of the football.
Got to look the part.
Jesus Christ!
Even if I can't,
if you've never seen anything until
Tom
you've
Quinn
seen
on a golf
course. It was the day that we rocked up to the golf course. Obviously, you come back to the start. It was the day we rocked up to the golf course, and he had an orange polo shirt.
Tell me how some chino shorts.
Grey tank top, grey trousers, and I looked down and went, "Fuck off."
Has he got coloured shoes?
His shoes were grey and orange. I was like,
paired with the outfit.
Wow.
So he's got more than one pair of golf shoes there, so to pair with the outfits.
Karen.
So what I was going to say was that it was my brother's life ambition. I mean, he's still alive. He's not dead. It was his life ambition to get a picture of me at the self-service checkout in Tesco in full kit, so he could send it into FAW.
Tell me you not got some socks, like some football socks with shin pads or anything in there, right?
No, I never wear shin pads because it's not a league. It's just a kickabout between like mates that I'm convinced to get you down. I'm you down for that matter. It'd be quite good just to get a bonds kickabout going. That'd be bad.
I used to play football for a company I worked for. True.
I didn't.
But
I can go.
Turned up to my first game in boots.
Was it
Well,
Astro?
Not football boots.
Oh, Doc Matt!
Yeah, that's actually Doc Marty, but that's the closest I could get.
Don't forget to bring your boots. Message received.
Yeah.
Right, so where were we?
So anyway, yeah, this is going to be a thing. Anyway, to get back to when we went to the river dance.
Yes.
In the theme of Full Kit Wanker, the guy that was clearly on the Wenger diet, as we're now going to refer to that for code, full tracksuit. Who wears a full tracksuit?
God, it's Pulis for the
So
day.
what we're thinking is underneath that tracksuit.
Bare-chested for sure underneath that tracksuit that guy was.
I think I'm going to go with track lines or something.
I was going with Full Kit Wanker.
Oh
No, because it wasn't the Full Kit Wanker vibe. It was like,
maybe Pulis is his idol.
oh yeah, but I mean, it wasn't like, yeah. Do you know what I mean though? Like, if you remember it, he had that burgundy tracksuit on, but matching bottoms. I always find it a bit awkward when you see someone in a matching tracksuit.
Chav.
Yes. But I'm pretty sure that, if it because it was pretty cold.
By the sounds
if
of
he'd have
it,
taken that top off, I'm pretty sure he'd have been bare chested.
by the sounds of it, he was more Russian gangster than Chav. Did he have a big gold chain on over the top?
I don't think he had any jewellery.
He was chav.
Yeah.
He just kept turning around in his full tracksuit, just trying to
He was trying to get
the crowd
get the
going,
crowd.
wasn't
So
he was getting frustrated when
He'd always try and get a chant started.
Yeah.
Turn to the left. Annoyed he couldn't get it started. Turn to the right. Annoyed he couldn't get it started. Gave up. Turned round. 5 minutes pass. Tried to start a chant again. Turn to the left. Can't get it started. Annoyed. Turn to the right. Can't get it started. Annoyed. In he goes.
Yeah, to be fair, halfway through the first half, he disappeared. Yeah, and then this repeated for the second half, didn't it?
Did exactly the same for the second half.
And
And again,
disappeared
20 minutes before the end.
Go.
Points
Never
for
seen him
effort,
again.
though, yeah.
It's alright though, because when we went inside for a quick pint, little pie, a bit peckish.
You know that you can't have any kind of event without food for Paul.
What?
One of my favourite.
Have you ever been to anything with Paul where he hasn't gone, what's the food situation?
No, there's usually a big clock that starts the moment we start to arrange something. It's like, start the clock. I will never forget the day of going to York City Football Ground and enjoying a lovely warm bottle of Diet Coke with a freezing cold pie. It was like, they couldn't have got it much further backwards. It's like, this Coke is, I'm not sure, it might be boiling. And
that was taken from the fridge,
yeah,
apparently. We
and
saw it take it out
was
of the
like,
fridge.
there's your pie, and it was like, dun dun dun. Well, they've got this one right, haven't they, boys?
Oh my god! But the point was going to be was that we went in at half time for a refreshments, if you will. To so gets closer to the end of half time. Still got half a pint left or so. So it was like, well, let's not rush it. We're not going to miss anything.
Scored straight after.
So
time.
We're just finishing off the last arse end of the pint, and we hear a massive cheer go up. And I'm thinking,
no, I think we'd finished the pint. Did we not go to the loo?
Not together. He doesn't mean that. He doesn't.
We definitely shared a urinal. It's a trough one though.
We shared a urinal and a moment. But we were in the vicinity of going back up, and it was like, that's a loud cheer.
That must be a home goal.
That's got to be a home goal. And it was like, I don't know, we're quite close to the away supporters, so trundle back up. 0-1, you fucking bastard. Bear in mind, this
then I had to walk out into like all the in front of this guy that was clearly crazed.
This is at a point. This is at a point. So first time I've been to the Riverside all season. At this point, they hadn't conceded a goal.
Yeah.
You have got a bit of a thing. There's been a few.
Bit snake.
There was a point where he stopped going because every time we went, they lost.
Well, it's all right because it's not as if I went to Wembley for the playoff final on my birthday.
I remember that one.
And they got beaten. On my birthday.
Oh well.
That I think that was the season that you were like, I can't go to any more games. I mean, obviously
that was good though, because
you've done well to make it to the playoff final. Because isn't generally Middlesbrough like steady starts at season,
bottle job,
10th bit end.
Speaking of going to the Riverdance, between last week's podcast and this week's podcast,
you've been to the Riverside.
My Facebook went. Remember this picture?
Yes, I got the exact same thing.
Every year that picture comes up, I go, how much fucking hair has Paul got in that picture? It's like if you got on a motorbike.
How far back are we going here?
This year it was 6 years. 7 years.
Right. If you got on a motorbike and rode away straight towards the wall,
6 years.
crashed, head first collision, it'd be fine. There's a lot of hair in that picture. Fucking hell.
But it's the best thing about it was the fact that there's 2 years running, we went to the third round because it was always a tenner to get in.
Yep.
And
see where you're going to get him to go to it, isn't it?
He's a cheeky bastard.
Well, you're not going to pay 30 quid to go to a football match.
I wouldn't. That's the thing. I wouldn't. The only reason I offered it out to you because it's your team.
No, I don't. I like him. I mean,
but it's
when I go the Bramall Lane games, you look at the Boxing Day game, right? Boxing Day. Granted, it was Derby.
Mm.
Right, so normally we've got like a certain number of season tickets amongst the family, but because it's Boxing Day, everyone wants to go, so I had to buy a ticket.
Right, okay.
£35 to watch a team that's not my team play against, granted,
your team's
my
rivals.
team's main rivals, and I'm sat there like, I don't know who I want to leave for.
The thing for me is that I always feel bad saying to people, do you want to come to the football with me? It's 30 quid. And it's the fact that you're not going to be watching anything that's going to be groundbreakingly good. At the moment, Borough are playing.
That's the one thing I'll give.
Who was the guy?
That's the one thing I give the Blades at the moment.
They
play some good football.
Who was the guy that played for Borough that had the dreads?
Marvin Emnes. You and Phil, for a period of time, were absolutely obsessed with him.
Because it was there.
You more so than me.
Well, I'm assuming that's when you had dreads.
When I had dreads.
Yeah.
But I can genuinely say this. Never been more excited than putting a bet on for Emnes to score. I think we both put the same bet on a different. But I'm like trying to set up my Sky Bet account while sat there. I need a pin number. All of this. I'm like money on Emnes to score, and we were there, and he scored, and a proper moment, but it had other conditions, and those. I think Emnes to score and Borough to win, and then.
Clearly, that was the mistake.
So one of my greatest moments in the Riverdance has occurred with a bet on the line. So this was the first day of the year 2008-2009 season. So we're talking 11 years ago now. Ridiculous. First game of the season, Borough versus Spurs. Good game. So I went with two of my mates. Shout out to Greg and Stu. Not that Stu, different Stu.
Sure, they'll be watching.
Of course they will. They're listening to Yorkshire's #1 football podcast. Yorkshire's #1 Middlesborough and Nottingham Forest based podcast.
Yeah,
probably is.
So went in the bookies before the game, and my mate put a fiver on David Wheater to score. No, it was just a pound.
That name for
just a pound. David Wheater to score the first goal, 25-1. Lovely. Centre half. If you get a corner, there's a good chance of him scoring. I, on the other hand, was feeling a bit frisky, so went David Wheater to score first, and Middlesbrough to win 2-1. Ooh. So, first half, Middlesbrough get a corner.
Oh, he's never scored.
David Wheater pops up from the back, leaps like a salmon.
Oh.
Bosh! Header goes in. We start celebrating. Flag goes up.
Oh.
Rolled out for either offside off or a push or something. We were fucking fuming. So anyway, half time, 0-0. Gets to the second half. Switch ends, and they're attacking towards us this time. Oh no, sorry, they were attacking away from us because I remember it. I'll come to that in the end. So they're now attacking away from us, and they get a corner.
Here we go.
You know who strides up from the back?
Leaped like a salmon again.
Leapt like a salmon. No, I'll tell you what. He leapt like a salmon the first time. Leapt like a gazelle.
Right,
Bosh. Header. Goes in. We all check for the flag. No flag. My mate just goes, ah! Jumping and hugging me because he's just won 25 quid.
And now you're furiously hoping for more goals.
I'm just thinking, right, that's the first part. Sorted. The first goal scorer is in the bank. Nice. So, 85th minute. Mido. There's a name for you. Mido pops up at the back stick. Sticks one in for the Borough. 2-0.
So now you're in the weird situation.
So I'm in the weird thing of praying for my team to concede. Board goes up for injury time. 5 minutes. Tense. 94th minute. I think there was a cross that comes in. Robert Huth. So the goal's this way. Robert Huth goes up to clear it with his big massive head. Comes off the back of his head and goes in for an own goal. So then
which you're cheering.
So at first I was like, for fuck's sake, and then just turned to the lads and went, yes. So I'm just there.
Tell me the story ends where Spurs.
Right, so this is the thing. So it must have been like the 94th minute or something, or 94th and like 30 seconds. So there's literally just enough time to take the kick off, and then the game's over. So they get the kick off taken, and it is pretty much literally a case of they Borough kick off. And the ref blows the whistle and stuff like that. So I'm thinking, oh, nice one here. So I check the betting slip. That's right. David Wheater to score first. Middlesbrough score to win 2-1. Pound on. 165-1. Yes, please. Oh. Straight back to the bookies. Bash straight on the table. I'll to collect that, please.
Oh, that thanks.
So I think I
gave Huth a call later.
I was like, cheers, Rob. I'll just slip you a little bit. I was like, what are you on about, mate? I'm making shitloads in football. Don't talk to me again. Put some fun.
I'll just get this number. Here's a piece of advice. Lose this number.
Yeah. So I think I bought us all tea, and then we came home. But yeah,
very good.
Good day out.
Yeah.
Ever had any big wins on the footy?
No.
Ever had any big wins? Just on any betting.
Oh no, I've probably mentioned this on at least one podcast before, but I have the single worst look at any you. So
he's going to bring up the poker night now, isn't he?
Of course he is.
So the poker night's a prime example. As far as stuff like that goes, I can actually predict the future.
I said this to you at the time though, right? It might have happened once. Are you sure in your head though now you're not thinking, well, I'm really good for the first hour and then it goes to shit. So now
you're in your own
you're really good for the first hour and then you're like, I need to make it go to shit so I can say my questions.
I think the problem there is that you're in your own head too much.
Yeah, I think so.
So me and Phil for a long time had this thing that I was saying to him, we need to set up 2 Sky Bet accounts. Mm-hmm. I will run one as if I'm genuinely running my Sky Bet account. The only thing you have to do is go, right, what have you put down there? Genuine bet. So let's say, in that example, Borough to win 2-1. So then, Phil just has to bet on the other team.
Complete opposite result.
And then, we split the winnings. Because we could retire. And I still maintain to this day, if anybody wants to give me a call, we'll set this up. Because I feel really fortunate because I'm never going to be in that position of, oh, I've got a little bit of luck. You know, when the fun stops. Yeah, I am a constant standstill. Like I had a thing at one point. I was like, I'm going to win a load of money on the horses. So I put £10 in the Sky Bet account, and I was like, 50p on this, 20p on this, 8p on this, and the system of the Darren Brown system, bet on the favourite. So that's all I did. I just bet on the favourite, and literally that tenner went gone. I think I've got a penny in my.
Yeah, but bookies want favourites to win, though, don't they?
Super Bowl. Generally, at the start of the NFL season, I'll put 50p on the Patriots to win the Super Bowl, and then for the last God knows how many years, I've been like, oh, at least one bet.
So I've never won a big bet. My brother won loads on that one where
Patriots Falcons.
Yeah, right. So my brother-in-law is from Atlanta, so he's a big fan. So my brother just obviously bet against him just to piss him
just
off.
to rinse it,
right? But he put the bet on like probably some point in the third period. It was like
period. It's like he's playing ice hockey.
Whatever it is, I don't watch. But yeah, and yeah, he got
good odds on that.
Well,
but there's always
no.
these.
I think he only got a certain amount of the odds because
it
went into overtime.
I was going to say they didn't win in. They didn't win in
I think
regulation.
they gave him. There was he was still up.
Yeah,
but it would have been more if they'd have done it.
Well, there's always the stories, isn't there, of the Liverpool fans at half time in the Champions League final when they're 3-0 down to AC Milan.
3-0 down to Shevchenko.
Yeah, they're trying to get money, as much money as they can on Liverpool to win.
Because they all think it's going to happen.
Which is ridiculous when you think about it, because they'd have lost that bet because they didn't win that game.
No,
they drew that game.
They did,
and they won it on penalties. So there's apparently all these people saying, "Oh yeah, won loads on the Liverpool game, betting on Liverpool to win." Well, you definitely wouldn't.
Yeah.
Because you're betting 90 minutes, so you're talking out your ass.
I bet you can get result bets.
Oh yeah. But I think back then,
that
was probably a very not you probably wouldn't have been able to get it that readily.
No.
Should we cover the next couple of games or the next games that we've got coming up? So you've got a tough trip to.
I don't know what the stadium's called, but I'll go for Reading.
The Madstad. Midday.
See, I was thinking of when James always pops
Elm
up.
Park
because it's his one football stat he knows. So we couldn't get James on.
Sadly.
I know, disappointing.
It was real short notice. Well, I think the realisation of
10 to 4
inviting two guests to join the podcast today.
Yeah.
30 minutes before.
Yeah,
before kick off of one and an hour and 30.
And he said he's already scheduled for later in the week.
Nice.
So yeah, that would have been fun. Although he wouldn't have known anything, which isn't great. Which isn't
guarantee you, he could not tell you a single Reading player at this point. I mean, I don't think I could either. To be fair,
no.
Chris Gunter.
I guarantee it won't be current. But if you ask James to name a current Reading player, I in fairness do this and report back. He'll definitely say Shakir Slop.
Shakir
right? He definitely was. Right, there's a question for you.
Last James Reading about 95.
Name me a Reading player. Right.
You're guaranteeing that he'll say Shakir, isn't it?
Yes.
Nice.
Guaranteeing that.
Excellent.
Yeah. So he was. Unless you put this out before you ask him, and he might have watched it.
Time scales are tight. I've got I got to get the NFL one done like tomorrow.
Yeah. You've got until Saturday to release.
I have got a few days.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you're still wanting this for Monday, then no.
Well, we can always change it. You can always keep these in the bank if you want, really. Well,
do it like a little quiz of like how much shit did they talk with their actual predictions. Yeah. But yeah, no. So yeah, it would have been a good one to get him on, but he knows nothing.
Yeah, his current knowledge is.
When we took him to the football quiz once before, he was like, I know one thing. And I know that Reading used to play at this ground.
No, that was my dad.
And I was like, I don't think that's popping up.
And it did.
It didn't in that, but then about 2 days later, it popped up on the quiz machine at the pub. He loved it.
Was he like that?
Yeah.
This guy just fucking I'm just making rain, mate. He's fucking
yeah. I expect
tough trip to the Mads.
I expect to win there.
You should do really. Borough played there about 3-4 weeks ago. George Friend popped up with the winner, standard, because why wouldn't the left back score?
I think he scored against Peterborough as well, didn't he? Didn't notice that one.
George Friend goal machine.
Yeah, so
the only fit left back at the club. Absolutely criminal.
I'd expect 3 points, but we're sitting 4 points behind the team in front of us, so no potential movement in the league. I think we're sat above Birmingham on goals scored currently. Not even goal difference, so But I'd expect to still be there.
Well, we can can somewhat do you a favour because that is who we play.
Oh, really?
So we're playing Birmingham at St
That was
Andrews.
seamless. That was if we'd planned that one, wasn't it? But anyway.
So Forest goes up against Reading.
Yes.
You're expecting a win.
Yes.
Can I give us a score prediction?
Score prediction at all?
I believe that Grabham's still out. So
he's injured, isn't he?
Yeah. So
So
we won't keep a clean sheet. I'd maybe go for 3-1.
Karanka loves a clean sheet though. He's almost like Pulis.
He doesn't.
He loves building on the
He
defence.
might love them. He doesn't get them.
Hey, when we got promoted, we had the best defence in the Championship.
No. I mean,
Best
like
defence in the
we've
country.
proved like time and time again. Even if we're 3-0 up with like 15 minutes to play, the game's not won.
Got a clean sheet at the Riverdance early in the season.
Yeah.
Shit houses.
Anyway, so yeah, 3-1 I'll go for.
Scorers?
Scorers. Sooner or later Murphy's going to have to score, but probably not this game. If he's in the team, Osborne maybe. Been scoring a few recently. Callback's got his quota for the season now. He ain't going to score.
Cash?
Well, see, the weird thing is, I was going to say Lolly, but
Scored a fucking pinger against the Bully.
I know, yeah, but
Really?
he's incredible. He's Joe Lolly. Carvalho always gets the starting spot, and it's it's two from Cash, Osborne, and Lolly that start amongst him. So
Right, okay.
So them, not Carvalho. He don't really score, but yeah,
Okay.
Lolly, Osborne, Cash. I'll go for. But let's hope they all get one.
And you have no idea who's going to score for Reading.
Shaq Hislop.
2-1.
Excellent.
Oh, he's going in.
I'd say goal scorers, but I think we're clutching at straws there.
Well, I think he's wanting Lolly now just for.
Yeah, he's going to.
What do you think then about the Forest game? You got a thought?
I watched Reading play United in the cup, and they played quite well.
They did.
They arguably had the better of the chances.
I mean, United put a weakened team, but very definitely better than Forest team.
But if you think about it,
no,
the team that United put out, none of them were proper reserve players.
No.
I mean, there was that kid that was it Chong.
Oh, everyone.
Who
Even
came
the commentator was sucking his dick.
It was just funny. It was funny when it.
Everyone all the crowd know about him. Oh yes.
The funniest thing about it was the fact when he just brought up the he's got hair like this man used to have, and it just panned to Fellaini. It was like, what? That's not a stat. You just making up shit now. This is ridiculous.
No, but their actual they look good even when
they played some good stuff. That I can't remember his name. Oh God! Should I do my head in? No, there was a winger. He looked pacey. I can't remember his name.
Jeff Winger.
Yeah, something. Was it the
Keep talking. I'll look for it. No,
not him.
It's not. There was a guy who was playing out wide. It'll be annoying now if I can't scroll back far enough in the score centre.
No, I can't tell you. Do you want to have a go at any scorers for either of those two clubs? Bear in mind, I've had to go with Shaq Hislop.
No. Amazing.
But I'm going 2-1.
He can go for a Joe Lolly brace just because he likes.
Of course he can. Harriet.
Oh right, okay. Yeah,
So he played on the wing.
Yeah.
Might have been Callum Harriet or Chris Harriet or something.
Okay.
Harriet. I mean, I always forget that they've got Gareth McCleary,
right?
Who they got from Forest.
I'd love to be able to offer something here.
So, I'm very much old players seem to play more. I was going to say more better, but that's terrible England.
You mean they step up the game when it's
the
team?
Yeah, I'm very much one of those guys who sort of believes that.
Went really well for Britt at the Riverdance earlier this year, didn't it?
Well, he didn't start. How would you not start him? How would you not start him against the team that sold him?
I don't know.
Ridiculous. Tony, sort your fucking life out.
Right, okay.
So, I reckon that McCleary could have a big game.
Okay.
I'm going to go 2-2.
Okay. Is this in typical fashion? Forest 2-0 up with 10 minutes to play. Ends up 2-2.
Do you know what? I'm going to go the opposite. I'm going to go Forest will be 2-1 down after 90 minutes. And
We don't score. We're not Leeds. Or Norwich.
Norwich. I was going to say Norwich is the bloody team there. Yeah, I'll go Harriet and McCleary to score for Reading.
Okay.
And I kind of want to say Jack Cole back with another brace. I'll go for what do you say that guy's name is? Carvalho or what? Cavaliero.
Jacques Cavaliero.
I'll go for him to get both.
Really?
A brace.
I'd be impressed if he does.
Yeah, 2 each.
Right, okay.
Sorry, we're about to talk about the game of the week.
Yes. So then.
Birmingham versus Borough.
Yeah.
The Monk grudge match.
So it is away then.
It's at St Andrews.
Yeah. Okay.
The missus is from Birmingham actually. She does not like football, so she won't care one bit.
I'm just trying to think if I could pick the accent, the one sentence I've heard her say. No.
Good old day, Duke. No, it wasn't that.
Oh, look at the chimneys. Lenny Henry joke from the 90s.
See, what are you thinking? I'm a bit conflicted about this game because obviously Birmingham are hot on our heels, but we're not too far away from you.
Yeah. Confidence should be high because of the win at the weekend.
Okay.
But
that might be misplaced when you've won against Peterborough.
And a lot of the players that played probably won't start on Saturday because he'll go back to playing Hugo up top on his own.
Was it like was it a really weak team you put out there?
Not weak, it was just much changed.
Yeah,
so he had Paddy McNair playing at right back.
I didn't even know he was there.
I think. So you'd imagine there'll be a lot of changes. He probably won't play Ashley Fletcher and Rudy Gestead, I'd imagine. So he had Britt up top.
Gested's like your go-to sub, isn't he?
He's been injured for the past couple of weeks and stuff like that, and he's just been out of favour.
Because when we went to that game, that was like a club in that division can make a double sub and bring.
We made a triple, didn't he? He brought on
Assombalonga, Gestead.
I'm almost certain he brought Clayton, Assombalonga and Gestead on.
See, I don't know. Yeah, he did. I remember Clayton coming. I didn't realise it was a triple. Did they all happen at the same time? He did the Rafa Benitez approach to substitution.
The tried and trusted.
65 minutes.
Spunk all my load in one go.
But all I remember from that is thinking, those two came on, and you were like raving that he'd taken off, quote, the best player on your team at the time. I can't remember who.
Braithwaite?
I don't know. Going to see his forward, isn't it? Whoever he took off for Clayton.
Bezic? No. Saville? I can't.
Oh, maybe Bezic was right, but I think you couldn't understand why he'd taken off.
I think he took off Bezic.
Yeah.
To put on Clayton. Now Bezic is more of an attacking midfielder. Well, he's sort of in that weird position that he's probably supposed to be there as a sitter, but he likes to roam.
Yeah. So
when he gets on the ball, it's not out of the realms of possibility for him to go forward and have a pop. So he took Bezic off to bring on Clayton. So immediately he lost an attacking threat there because you're sacrificing a guy who would drive forward with the ball. I think it was one at that point.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure Assombalonga had one cleared off the line or something, and then Forrest broke and scored the second.
Yeah.
By that point, the game was gone.
Anyway, go back to your team. I think I was just saying that you've obviously got quite a strong depth on the bench.
There'll be a lot of changes.
Yeah.
Like I say, I'd imagine that Hugo will come back in. Changes to the back four. Could even go for three at the back again. Obviously, we brought in Van La Parra as a winger. He wants to play with wingers apparently, but the problem with the wingers that we've got is that
when you say he wants to play with wingers, though, is he going to play with wingers who cross the ball, or like every other team I see in that division who wants to play with wingers who then cut in and pass it across the area?
Knowing Pulis,
or pass it back to the defence.
Oh God! All of his strikers that he likes to play with are over 6 foot.
Big boys, yeah.
Probably over 6'4". So he likes to toss it in the mixer and get them to stick their head on it. That's what Hugo was brought in for, I think.
Well, going back to the Gestead, I don't know if I've ever seen him score not a header.
Yeah, that's pretty. Yeah, I'd agree with that. So you'd imagine that his idea is that he'll get Van La Parra on one side, Downing on the other, and just get him to whip balls into the mix for Hugo to try and stick his napper on and get goals that way. So yeah, the team will be much changed. Birmingham are playing well.
Birmingham have been sneaking up.
Yeah, it's them and QPR have sort of got a bit under the radar, and they're sort of in and around the mix. It's a sort of game that if you're looking to win the division or get promoted, you need to go to a place like Birmingham and get all 3 points.
Yeah.
But as it is at the moment, I'd probably take a draw, and I'll go for a draw. I'll go for 1 each, and I'll go for Johnny Howson to score. I have no idea. Probably Jukovic will probably score for Birmingham because he used to play for Borough. So it's the old fuck you guys. I'm just going.
Right, I've got no idea on a Birmingham scorer. I'll go for
Yotta.
I think I'm open for a draw.
That helps you.
That's
from both sides.
Assuming that we're going to beat Reading, yeah.
Well, I don't think you are.
I'll make it easy for myself. I'll just say 0-0.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
1-0 Borough.
Oh! Spicy monkey.
Goal scorer? We're just giving you loads of options.
Emnes.
Oh, but Emnes, I knew he was going to say Emnes.
Is there any other interesting games? Well, I'm just interested to see who Hull are playing, because what are they doing at the moment?
They are the form team. I mean, they've got beaten the
family.
cup.
Granted, they're Sheffield United fans, so, you know, they've obviously got problems. Someone claimed Hull for the playoffs. And I was like, dreaming.
If you were to say that to my Hull supported mate Stu, he's had to mention before, he would laugh in your face. So
they've been winning. They've been winning big as well recently, haven't they? I don't know how they've done this.
Lost in the cup on Saturday, but that might be because they changed the team a bit. So Sky Bet Championship, the action gets underway on Friday.
Oh, it's a Derby Leeds.
Leeds Derby.
Yeah,
good game. Might watch that. Then on Saturday, a big game in the Premier League. There isn't one really. West Ham Arsenal's the early kick-off. Chelsea Newcastle's the late one. Might be funny to watch Newcastle get absolutely spanked. Hull are playing Sheff Wed.
Wednesday are pretty terrible, aren't they?
They're sort of hit and miss. They're a bit up and down, just like the manager.
Oh yeah.
So
he was apparently
Brucey
safe. He was apparently super safe in his position like about a month ago.
I can't remember whether Brucey's starting this week, because obviously that'd be him against his old team.
Yeah. So is that definite? Is he?
Yeah, he's in. Steve Agnew and I can't think of the other guys that he's gone in, but they were in charge for the cup game of the weekend, I think.
Yeah, I saw someone saying that there was another game. There was another job available, and they were saying, "Oh, why wasn't he considered?" But he's going to get this one.
Yeah.
And then they say, "Oh, because that's the man you want in that league." And I'm like, what did he just do at Villa exactly?
Got to the playoff final.
But this year,
nah.
Didn't he just play like a whole squad out of position?
Yeah, no, but he was kind of working with his hand tied behind his back with the money situation there, wasn't he? Quite a big game, West Brom Norwich.
Oh yeah, yeah. So my other brother-in-law, big Norwich fan. I'll be discussing that one quite a lot. You'd have to fancy West Brom in that one for me.
Don't know, it's Norwich, isn't it?
Yeah. Lost last time out.
I'm going to go with West Brom.
I'm
going to go with West Brom to be 2-0 up at 95 minutes and Norwich just somehow still win the game. Because that seems to be how they're going this season. Sunday, Tottenham Man United. That will be worth watching.
Mm-hmm. Oh, talking of Tottenham, what's the score?
They won 1-0.
Did they?
I wonder who scored.
Kane. Penalty. I think I looked before.
Yeah, you did. So yeah, that's the.
There's no other games then that are worth note there.
I mean,
who else is in the playoff mix up there? Who is Sheffield United playing?
Sheffield United are home to QPR. Tough game.
It's a pretty solid game, is that? Yeah.
I'm just trying to think who else.
Say what QPR are they sitting like ninth?
So you got Leeds. Like so Leeds are top, and Derby are sixth.
Yeah.
Norwich is second.
West Brom are third.
It's either Sheffield United or West Brom third, and the other one's fourth.
And you're
then
fifth.
it's us. then it's Derby.
And then we've got 7 and 8. Is that Forest and
Birmingham,
and then presumably
QPR.
Yeah, so they're all
others.
they're all in the mix there, aren't they?
Yeah. I mean, I could just look at the
Who
table.
are Villa got?
Villa, Wigan, away.
That should be easy. Wigan are terrible.
So yeah.
So it was as we expected.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's we'll see how that one goes then.
Indeed, we will. Is it quiz time?
I was going to say, do you want to do it first?
Yeah.
Now then, if it's been... I was just looking. I've got a piece of paper and I've got a pad and I've got 2 pens.
Ooh.
If it's easier to do it that way.
Give me.
It seems very
Stone Age.
undigital.
It's not going paperless in January, is it? So if you still want to use your phone, that's fine. I'll be digital, obviously.
I'm very much of a pan.
You absolutely
I'm
struggled to work your phone last week. So that was quite hilarious to listen to.
Yeah, I think I can't even blame my poor results on the phone working. That was just bad questions. So how big is the quiz this time?
What's the point?
I think it's 12 questions.
Oh, that's fine.
12.
Why
So
did we not give predictions last week?
It was FA Cup. I think it was too broad, wasn't it?
No, but still, how weird.
Well, I think the prediction started of, I'm definitely going to get beat at Chelsea.
True. Very true.
I don't think... We definitely talked about who you were playing.
If one of you wants to take
The Battle of the Butters.
and that, plus that
Good.
on the ball,
There you
Well, I
go.
was going to say you have that.
Well, I think he's going to get another one coming soon.
Perfect.
What we got on
then
here is the secret stuff.
Were you going to get Toots to do that?
Yeah.
But we run out of time.
What is this?
That is name it all
all
the NFL teams.
32 NFL teams. It's a thing we do.
Did he tell you that I caught him failing an NFL quiz the other day on the computer?
Oh,
It's
what was
name
it?
all in alphabetical order. I came
I
over.
think I missed 6.
Right, he'd missed.
Really?
So
He
gave
got
you what?
through.
That's how it. Because at the end of the season,
Gave you all the helmets, and you had to click them in alphabetical order.
And he got one wrong early on, but then the
oh,
way
I
through,
don't-
he
I
got
don't-
literally about 5 in a
I had
row
one
wrong.
about 4 where I just went,
Because it was.
They
we got
kept getting
to-
like- kept
it
getting
was
like
all.
higher pitch.
I didn't realise how many NFL teams start with new.
yeah.
Because you were obviously
all the
going
ends.
for the one.
The ends just kept like screwing me over because it was the New York Giants, the New York Jets, the
'Cause
New
that-
England Patriots,
because that's
the
how he
New
has to do.
Orleans
That's
Saints.
how he has to do it at the end of the season. He's got to name them in alphabetical order.
Oh, well, he's already done this. I've seen him doing it at work.
But he can only use sound.
So for the Atlanta Falcons, it's or something like that.
Oh, okay.
For the Seattle Seahawks, it's
There was the Cardinals. Philadelphia, you and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So how many birds are there?
Eagles, Falcons, Ravens.
Cardinals, Ravens. Oh, fucking hell!
It just goes on. Obviously, shout out to the stats mistress from the NFL podcast for putting together the quiz. It's one of those, the rules are always going to be the same. If a question's wrong, it's not our fault. These are generally taken from the internet. I can't give any shout out to it. I don't know where this has come from. This has literally been collated and then sent out to me. I'm just asking the questions. So I think the general consensus might have been that the last week's was maybe a little too hard.
No, I think I'm just done.
So this week, I imagine looking through, probably fall into the too easy. So we're just trying to gauge.
I love how he's used his extensive football knowledge to go, these look too easy.
And there are 12 questions.
Right, okay.
So starting with number 1, some are multiple choice.
Okay.
Some we have to think.
Some are not. And there's a couple for you. So, and if you get
Join,
wrong,
and of course, join in at home.
joining at home is part of the whole thing.
Immersive podcasting.
Question number 1. Which 2 Liverpool footballers topped the Premier League goal scoring charts with 31 and 21 goals respectively in 2013 to 2014 season? Which 2 Liverpool footballers topped the Premier League goal scoring charts with 31 and 21 goals respectively in the 2013 to 2014 season?
Next.
Question
I hope
number
you're not. So you're going to look at me and judge.
Which Welsh manager won the Premier League Manager of the Season award in the same season? A. Mark Hughes. B. Chris Coleman. C. Tony Pulis.
I didn't even know Pulis was Welsh.
Question number 3. Which Arsenal midfielder won the BBC Match of the Day goal of the season in both the 2013-2014 and the 2014-2015 for goals seasons in both seasons for goals against Norwich City and West Bromwich Albion respectively? A. Samir Nasiri. B. Jack Wilshere. C. Aaron Ramsey.
Well,
I remember those.
I'm just going to get rid of my answer of Luis Suarez.
Question number
I did say I was the
4.
midfielder. I remember the one against Norwich. It was cracking.
Which Argentinian midfielder began his professional career with Rosario Central before spells with Benfica, Real Madrid and Manchester United led to a big money move to Paris Saint-Germain in 2015?
Oh, shit. Oh, yeah.
Question number 5.
So overrated.
How many times have Forest won the League Cup?
Oh my god.
A2, B3 or C4? And following on from that, question number 6.
How many times have Middlesbrough won anything?
In which season did they first lift the trophy?
Oh my god.
It's a League Cup!
A. 77-78. B. 78-79. C. 88-89. Question 7. Bloomfield Road is a stadium most commonly associated with which England Football League club?
Kieran tell it the other day, wasn't it?
So it was.
Question number 8. Which of the following is not one of David Beckham's middle names? A. Robert, B. Joseph, C. Christopher. Which is not one of Beckham's middle names? A. Robert, B. Joseph, C. Christopher.
I'm not convinced that's classed as
A football question.
because there's going to be lots of non-football liking girls that are definitely going to know that.
Number
Sorry,
9.
that's sexist, but you know what I mean.
Which German midfielder scored Brighton and Hove Albion's first goal in the Premier League era in their 3-1 home win over West Brom in 2017? Which German midfielder
Oh, there's no options for this one.
scored Brighton and Hove Albion's first goal in the Premier League era in their 3-1 home win over West Brom in 2017?
I don't know.
Question number 10. With which club did Diego Maradona last play for a European team?
Oh my god.
A. Barcelona, B. Seville, C. Napoli. Which club did Diego Maradona last play for a European team? Barcelona, Seville, Napoli. Question number 11. In 2018, Cedric Bakambu left Spanish side Villarreal
Yeah.
to join which club and a £65 million deal?
This is when football's gone wrong. When someone's worth £65 million who I've never heard
When you
of
say
before.
worth.
Right, he's moved for £65 million. I've never heard of him.
No options.
No options.
Right, give us the name again.
In 2018, Cedric Bakambu left Spanish side Villarreal to join which club in a £65 million deal?
Oh my god.
And just as a small, tiny hint, when I tell you the answer, we'll be able to struggle through me pronouncing the answer.
Ooh,
as
in that
well.
case, I'm quite happy with my pick there.
I've already put one of mine down, but I want to see what you put now.
12
No, I won't change mine.
Oh, okay.
and final answer.
I was going to say I put that.
12 and final question.
What is that?
That sounds like
that.
that to me.
Oh, you can pronounce that?
Well, I don't know.
Of course he can. 12?
Last one. What was the name of the Sutton United goalkeeping coach fined for eating a pie,
The pie on the bench
during his side's game with Arsenal?
Any options?
Was he a coach or was he not the sub-keeper?
He was the sub-keeper, but he was a coach.
Yeah, oh right, fair enough. No options.
No option.
Oh, I remember it as well. It was funny. Because he's done nothing wrong. Because they'd already made all their subs as well, hadn't they?
But
when he did it.
It was the reason why he did something wrong was because before the game,
there was a bet on it going to happen.
A betting company were offering odds of him to eat
Yes.
to be caught on camera eating a pie.
But he does eat a pie like every game or something.
Well, yeah, of course it was because he's like fat shit.
Yeah. But yeah, I remember that.
I can't think of his name.
Do you want any repeating?
No, I'm alright. I think.
No, I'm alright.
Okay. Question number 1. Which two...
Is this a point? Is this half point for each, or just 1 point for the
point for each, I guess.
A point for each.
We'll just do it as a point if you've got both.
Yeah. All right then.
Whichever way you want.
Okay.
Which two Liverpool
It has
footballers
to be these.
topped the Premier League scoring charts with 31 and 21 goals respectively in 2013 to 2014 season?
Suarez and Sturridge.
Is the
Has
correct
to be.
answer.
Are we trusting each other to mark our own here?
I can show you if you want.
No, that's right.
Which Welsh manager won the Premier League Manager of the Season award in the same season?
I don't even think he was managing, was he?
I don't know.
I've gone for Pulis.
I've gone for Coleman. Obviously, it's going to be Hughes.
Mark Hughes.
Tony Pulis.
Is it really?
Well, I was gonna. I don't know if that was the season that he got West Brom to like 8th.
What season was it?
2013-14?
It didn't say.
No, it's going to have to be
It was
Stoke.
the same season.
Yeah. So what was question 1?
Oh, 2013, 2014.
So it must have been when he was at West Brom.
Would he not been at?
Oh
Stoke?
no, Palace.
Oh, okay.
When he came.
Right.
Palace.
Okay.
Which Arsenal midfielder won the BBC Match of the Day goal of the season in both 2013 to 2014, 2014 to 2015 for the goals against Norwich City and West Bromwich Albion respectively?
B. Jack Wilshere.
I've
B.
gone for Wilshere. I can't remember
Wilshere.
what option it was. Yeah.
Which Argentinian midfielder began his professional career with Rosario Central before spells with Benfica,
Real Madrid.
and Manchester United led to big money move to Paris.
Fucking hell, it was
Was
big
it-
money he's moved to Man United.
Was it Angel?
It was Angel
Angel Di Maria.
Di Maria. Go on then,
Right,
James.
this is where it gets sketchy.
It's sketchy for me. He thinks it's a gimme. How many times have we won the League Cup? I've
So
gone
it was
for
2, 3 or 4.
I've gone for 4.
I've gone for D. D?
D.
D. None of the
Chile?
above. Is
Is D even an option?
No.
No, there was only 4. There was only 3
What the fuck
options.
did I put D then?
It's C. Chile.
It was 4.
4.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Why can't you just put the answers?
Because I don't know, because I'm always weird like that. Yeah, I did think it was the most. The
Oh
highest
yeah,
option.
that's.
I'll put across.
No, Paul.
In which season did they first lift the trophy?
I've gone for A.
Which was
76 to 78?
No.
77 to 78.
77 to 78.
76 to 78.
A is the correct answer.
Oh, is it? I've gone 78, 79. I thought it was the year before we won the league.
77 to 78. Other years they won are 78 to 79, 88 to 89, and 89 to 90. But the question was which was the first.
Yeah, got it wrong. Got it wrong.
Bloomfield Road
Blackpool.
No, it's Liverpool, isn't it?
is Blackpool.
Oh,
I always thought it was Bloomfield Park.
Bloomfield Road.
Which one is not one of David Beckham's middle names?
I mean, I'll put A.
I've gone for Joseph. But I don't know which one it was.
It's another one of those situations where you're both wrong. It's C. Christopher.
I'm not ashamed.
So David, Robert Joseph Beckham.
And again, the question you both get wrong, I'm sitting there going,
I know that.
I didn't know that one.
because that's the whole thing.
No answer, James.
Which German midfielder scored Brighton and Hove Albion's first goal of the Premier League era in their 3-1 home win over West Brom in 2017?
No, I have an answer here, but I want to hear you try and pronounce this.
Why is it not pronounced like it says?
Because it's got a weird little... So
Is it an umlaut?
if it's a
There's
right
no
thing,
umlaut in...
if it's right, it might have given you the last 2 letters of his surname could be double S, but it's not supposed to be.
Oh, but it's the German
It's supposed to be the
double
weird
S.
B with the little sort of
The German double
So
S.
it's called Pascal Gross.
But he's not. But you've got him down as Grob.
Well, I would have gone with Pascal Gross.
Yeah. So it's supposed to be GRO, this weird B with a sort of
It's
leg.
just called a double S, isn't it?
Yeah. Is it an S set? I think that's what it's called. An S set.
But they say it right at the end, don't they?
Yeah.
It's the 27th. Yeah. That is German.
With which club did Diego
So it is
Maradona...
in then?
Yeah, that's
Right,
Pascal
okay.
Gross. Which club did Diego Maradona last play for a European team?
You've gone...
So it was
Sevilla.
Barcelona, Sevilla or Napoli, yeah? I've gone for
Napoli, as
Sevilla.
far as I know, was definitely his first European team.
No, I thought it was Barca. I thought he was signed by Barca.
No, I think he came as a young child.
So I thought he was signed by
A
Barca.
young
No, 'cause
child rather than an old child.
Well, no, because he won the league with Napoli. And I thought that was towards the end. So I thought he went to Barca, got signed by Napoli, then went to Sevilla and then buggered off back home.
Right. Well, I've gone for Barca.
What did you go with?
Sevilla.
Of course he's right. Fucking hell.
In 2018...
I don't even know who that is.
I really hope it's that.
Cedric Bakambu.
Do you know who this
Spanish
person
side.
is?
No, I've never heard of him.
Right.
Villarreal to join which club in a 65 million deal?
Oh, hang on. These are Chinese.
Yes.
Oh, right, yeah.
So I can do the first bit, it's Beijing.
Oh.
But I'm... Guoan.
Guan?
I'd have gone with Guan.
I went
Beijing Guan.
So I went for Guangzhou Evergrande.
I went for PSG.
You thought you couldn't
No,
pronounce
because somebody written it down before he said it.
How dumb do you think?
Yeah,
Right,
I can't...
what's PSG stand for then? There you go.
Paris.
Yeah. What? Paris Saint-Germain.
Paris Saint-Germain.
Yeah.
Right, I can't for the life of me remember this guy's name, but something in my head thinks it's Matt something.
What was the question?
What was the name of the Sutton United goalkeeper coach banned
Oh,
for eating
Matt
at
something.
time
That's like just saying, think of a name.
during his side game at
Dave.
Arsenal?
I remember the story, I can't remember the name.
His name is Wayne
Wayne!
Shaw.
You've just said Matt!
I know, but I was wrong, obviously.
Okay.
So, by my count, there's probably
12
12 or 13, depending if you're counting one as 2 points.
I just counted one as one for both. I have 9 out of 12.
I do not have 9 out of 12.
You do not.
I've got 5.
So you got Seamus Coleman. Seamus Coleman.
I got-
Chris Coleman wrong.
I got Suarez and Sturridge right,
Yeah,
and I got Wilshere right,
Yeah.
and I got Di Maria right,
Yeah.
and I got 4 times League Cup right, and I got Blackpool right. So at one point I had 5 out of 7, and then we shit out.
well, unfortunately for you, I'd already beaten you by a question of 6.
You got them all. Fucking hell.
I had them all right until...
What's A?
that's David Beckham's bloody middle name.
Yeah, I know.
And I got the last 2 wrong.
So there you go. It's 2-0 to the boy Williams. You need to
You need to
get
step up your game, Chief.
home and get the books out. Because next week...
Oh my god, devastation.
Right, I'm gonna go home and look at every famous footballer's middle name.
Devastation for Thursday night.
Oh, but tell me
My dad's been poached by another team.
for the same quiz. How's this happened?
Oh, wow.
Because he went out for the bank's work due a couple of weeks ago.
Is this because we let him? Did he go out on the one that we didn't go to?
No, they didn't go to
See,
each
Oh,
other.
right.
And it was a case of he was chatting with his the lads that were there. They're like, "Oh yeah, that sounds really good. When is it? Oh, it's the second week of the second month of the year." Oh, fuck's sake.
So he
Second
basically had the
Thursday
same
of every
conversation with his mate that you did with Tom, but
Basically.
he folded. Where
So
you
it
went,
was a
no
case
Tom.
of, oh well, should we go to it? It was like, yeah. He was like, next time. It was like, yeah. Yeah, I might have to have a word with my son, but it should be fine. So yeah, so he's done them. So
Is James out?
I need to text him, but
Right,
I think so. If not, it'll just be me, you, and Tim.
Yeah.
And
So it'll be you.
No offence, not me being or anything. I'd still fancy our chances.
We have often wondered if we just sent Paul up on his own, how he'd go. Your dad brings some niche stuff though.
That's what I said.
That's
Any of the older questions.
What's the
would be
maximum
screwed.
number you can have in a team?
I think he said 6 before. What did he say?
It's
He said it
always
was-
like 6. I think you should get 6 people and put Paul in a team reserve and see how well he does.
Who are the 6
See if
people?
Paul
though?
can beat 6.
No, what I'm tempted to play is to play the dick move.
Do 3 teams.
And just me, Tim, and Paul sit there and go, we'll pay for 3, and then Paul just answers 3 teams worth of teams.
Technically,
we nearly did that once. When,
technically,
when James and Haley and James split off. So there's me.
No, yeah, we were going to share the answers.
We were just going to share the answers and take
so Haley and James ended up with the quiz, and we're like, "Are you just out for drinks?" And they're like, "Yeah, pretty much." Were you with them?
Yeah,
and then sort of convinced them to come along.
I think James was always going to just come along for the sake
well,
of
he said he was
and
going
then Haley was like, "Yeah,
she was out for drinks anyway." So she's like, "Yeah, go on then." Oh, no.
Bless you. I'm stealing his sneeze. I'm going to steal his sneeze.
Oh, excuse me.
I was going to steal your yawn, but I don't know how to do it.
Excellent.
So
Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Leanne.
Almost definitely going to go over here to see
2 hours or
two something.
I don't think it's 2.
Yeah, but we're calling it.
Oh my!
No, it's not.
It could be an hour. I tell you something. We could be bang on an hour and 45. Again.
No, actually, did we not start the first one at 8:10?
Oh God.
Oh no,
hour and 35.
1:35.
That's not too bad.
That's just this one though.
Yeah, there's a half hour of the other one.
Yeah.
Right. Well, let's call it there.
Call
the ball.
I mean, there was some. What do you call it?
Thank you. Bye bye.
There was bodily fluids.
So there you go. What do you think to that? Good, isn't it? It's one of our new podcasts. It's going over quite well. So keep seeing James and Paul come back, talk more football, more Middlesbrough, more Forest, more general football stuff, see what's going on in the football world. So yeah, sounds good. For you YouTube watchers, click the subscribe button, get yourself a subscribe, and that way you can click the bell and then you'll find out when there's more of these episodes going live on YouTube. Everybody should jump over to the cookiecast.com, send us some social media love, even send us an email. See how you guys are getting on in the football quiz. Do you reckon you're ready to beat Paul? Do you think you can take him down? I think that's something that's going to come up a little bit further in the season, so look out for that. So yeah, do all of those things. But until then, until next week, should I say, I'll see you guys then. Paul and James will see you then. So yeah, until then, I'll say bye bye.